The Donald Trump-Elon Musk civil war is nowhere close to slowing down, and I certainly will not be getting in its way, because after Elon reignited his fight with Donald Trump over his signature and horrible legislation, he took the next step, creating his own political party, which is targeting Senate seats to upset and hurt Republicans in the 2026 midterms. And of course, that made Donald Trump lose his mind in an insane Truth Social post, one of the longest and craziest we've ever seen. And then Elon immediately fired back with an attack on Donald Trump. All hell is breaking loose. We are going to get into it. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does a lot to support this channel. Now, of course, before we are able to get into Donald Trump's freakout and how Elon responded, we got to start with what began this all, and that's Elon's decision to begin his new political party. MAGA melts down as Elon Musk files paperwork for America Party. Former first buddy Elon Musk's plan to wade back into politics with a new political party has roiled MAGA influencers across Twitter. Musk officially filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission Sunday to establish his so-called America Party after he pledged to hit back against Republicans for passing Donald Trump's big beautiful bill, which is projected to add $4.5 trillion to the national debt. Musk, who became an American citizen in 2002, claimed in a Friday post on Twitter that his new political party would focus on just 2 or 3 Senate seats in 8 to 10 House districts, CNBC reported. By a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it, Musk added in a Saturday post, referring to an X poll he conducted asking his followers if they support a third party. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. Others worry the new political party will only tip the political scales, I hope, in favor of Democrats. Elon launching the America Party will make it easier for Dems to win in the future, wrote conservative Dear America founder Graham Elon. Elon Musk, this is a mistake. Please listen to reason. So the MAGA influencers are furious, and oh boy, does that make me happy. But the reason why Donald Trump made the insane post that he did today, which ultimately led Elon to fire back, can actually be tracked to only a few weeks ago when he said this, leading to his insane post.
And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him.
So that was after the initial spat with Elon Musk began, and Donald Trump was citing that Democrat at NASA. And we've seen from new reporting out of the Daily Beast that it had been a long time coming that Donald Trump was upset with Elon, and he actually potentially planted the story about his drug use in the New York Times, or at least he was bragging that he did, which is why it's no surprise that Donald Trump is still harboring those resentments. He made this long and crazy post on Truth Social, then we'll see how Elon hit back in his own response. Trump wrote, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. The system seems not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos, and we have enough of that with the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence in their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth-running machine, that just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of the country. It is a great bill, but unfortunately for Elon, it eliminates the ridiculous electric vehicle mandate, which would have forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time. I have been strongly opposed to that from the beginning. People are now allowed to buy whatever they want. It continues, I have campaigned on this for 2 years, and quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew that I was going to terminate the EV mandate. It continues to go along like that until Trump talks about the blue-blooded Democrat who Elon wanted to run NASA. I also thought it was inappropriate that a very close friend of Elon who was in the space business run NASA when NASA is such a big part of Elon's corporate life. My number one charge is to protect the American people. All right. I tried to skip over a lot of that because it was rambling nonsense, but there is actually some truth to what Donald Trump had to say. Again, I know that sounds absurd to hear, but this goes back further than just Elon coming out against Donald Trump's signature legislation. Clearly, he had soured on him because of their disputes over the electric vehicle mandate, and he kind of viewed Elon as maybe, like that MAGA influencer said, someone who wasn't actually a Trump supporter, wasn't actually a Republican. We know this is the case. Elon's just looking out for what's best for Elon, and it seems like Trump saw that, and so he soured on him early, which is the reason why I think that this civil war will continue for a long, long time, because it's not just over one piece of legislation. They clearly have differences that run pretty deep, and hopefully they keep fighting. Elon Musk clearly wants to, because he fired back about that post, writing this right here. Elon just responded to Trump's latest attack on him with, "What's Truth Social? Never heard of it. The beef between them is only getting worse for the Republican Party." Now, of course, that's kind of a pathetic response from Elon, and I don't really think we should expect much more than just like a pathetic response from Elon, but they're fighting. Beautiful, great, keep it up. It only helps us. We need them to expose each other. And what's so great about this is that Donald Trump has built up Elon as such a god king to his followers that some of them actually believe the things that he says. And of course, he's right to call out the bloat that is in Donald Trump's bill, how it runs up the debt. Of course, Elon only cares about that because he's looking out for his best interest. But he is swaying some Trump supporters, and Donald Trump is swaying some Elon fanboys. They're going after each other in an effort that will ultimately destroy Donald Trump's presidency and destroy Elon Musk's companies. Like, I'm fine to watch that play out, as long as we remember the damage that Elon has done. I don't want us to forget about that, and I think the person who had the perfect synopsis of it all was Jasmine Crockett right here.
Saying that we're talking about bypassing Congress, it seems like that's all that has happened actually this Congress. In fact, it's why we've had to spend so much time in courts, and thank God that we at least have one branch of government that has decided not to abdicate their duties and has decided that there are things such as, impoundment. And so when Congress does make a decision or does sign something into law or has been signed into law by a president, that you can't just bring in your good little friend who helped you get elected to the tune of $300 billion or $300 million and say, hey, guy, you get to do whatever you want to, despite what these duly elected people have done. But I digress. But I am going to get back to Elon, because Elon is looming over every single Doge hearing. You know why? Because that's supposedly what Elon was heading up. But now they don't want to talk about Elon, because Elon now is a little upset. There's a family spat that's obviously going on, and it is going to play out, it seems like, all over Twitter. But nevertheless, let's talk about some of the things that we should be talking about. And you know what? Every time I come in here, I really do wonder, what is the point? Like, why are we here? Because it doesn't seem like we're doing efficiency, right? Like, have we seen Elon? No. Have we seen anybody that works for Doge? No. But we're in the Doge subcommittee and we're talking to everybody but the Doge people. So to hear the comments about Stacey Abrams, it really got me going. And a lot of times when we come into this hearing room, it's all about politics. And it made me think that there was an issue most likely with Stacey, because someone actually brought up the fact that Stacey has run for governor a couple of times. And it seems like there's a gubernatorial race that's coming up in Georgia, and nobody knows whether or not Stacey is going to run. So why not muddy the water if we can, to hopefully keep a strong Black woman down? But again, I digress. So let's talk about the things that we could be talking about while we sit here in the Doge committee. It seems like we could be talking about, things like efficiency or oversight. When announcing this hearing, the chairwoman stated the Doge subcommittee would, quote, continue bringing long overdue transparency and accountability to those who abuse tax dollars. But so far this Congress, Republicans have focused their oversight responsibilities on things like defunding Big Bird, as well as attacking, of course, trans kids, because they're really the big threat that we have. We could be talking about how the Trump administration is ignoring these court orders, supporting American citizens, or targeting members of Congress for prosecution, or how Trump signed an order deregulating the cryptocurrency industry just as his family launched a digital currency. We could be having a hearing on how Trump fired members of the National Labor Relations Board for bringing a suit against Elon Musk, or how the Trump administration dismantled the Office of the Federal Contract Compliance while the office was investigating Tesla for alleged racial harassment, or how Trump dropped lawsuits against numerous large companies after they donated to his inaugural fund. We could have a hearing on whether Trump violated the emoluments clause when he not only it seemed like he asked for a $400 million jet from a foreign government, Trump has put a for sale sign on the lawn of the White House and has allowed wealthy donors to dictate how the government operates. That's what we should be having a hearing about, but nope. They're here attacking nonprofits that deliver food to seniors and disabled folk, provide child care and elder care for working families, job training for teens, and shelter for the unhoused. The Republicans and their witnesses have accused nonprofits of being, quote, radical and, quote, addicted to government money. And listen, I try to find agreement where I can. So I am going to say that I absolutely do agree with that statement to a certain extent, because there is a nonprofit by the name of the Heritage Foundation. And last time I checked, the Heritage Foundation, they are the authors of Project 2025. And we are living through the hell of Project 2025 right now. And something tells me that that's a bit of a partisan thing, because they said it was the conservative playbook. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why we would ever look at the Heritage Foundation and think that it's anything but radical and, quote, addicted to government money potentially. So Ms. Yentl, before I do that, I'm going to come to you because I want to make sure that I get these things on record. I have a unanimous consent, Madam Chair. It says Donald Trump allegedly asked aides whether Elon Musk's Doge promises were all bull, and then you know what the rest of it is. Unanimous consent?
Without objection.
Thank you so much. I have another one from CBS News. Despite Trump's promised cuts, U.S. spent more than $200 billion more in the first 100 days than last year. If some reason we focused on some efficiency, we may have more money to work towards this deficit that some of my colleagues say that they're concerned about. And I guess, Ms. Yentl, I'm going to run out of time, because if we were going to focus on this deficit, then maybe you wouldn't have your own friends coming out and talking about how we're going to have to lift the debt ceiling $5 trillion, because how else can we pay for the billionaires to keep more money in their pockets? Thank you, and I will yield.
Elon has done nothing but damage our country for his own personal interests. It is, again, the reason why I think this civil war is going to last so much longer than many people expect between Elon and Trump. Because ultimately, Trump views Elon as a disingenuous liar just looking to get ahead, and Elon knows that Donald Trump is a needy liar doing whatever he can to create power for himself. They understand the worst parts about each other and tried to exploit them. And of course, it instantly fell apart. But great. I am happy for Elon to launch a campaign in Maine, in Texas, and a couple of House seats all across the country, maybe some in California that seem very, very vulnerable at this point, to put his own crazy candidate in there to take, 3 to 7% of the conservative vote. Great. Help us win. We would love it. I'd love this scenario in which Elon runs for Senate in Texas and ultimately helps us flip that state blue for the first time in decades. I love it. Go for it. Screw over Trump. Keep dropping these election bombshells. I'm going to keep covering them up. And if you want to support that and stay up to date, we're doing it on this show. As always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, you drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.